Good morning. It is Friday, March 8th. It is the middle of rodeo season here in Texas. And thank you so much for joining us at Up to the Minute. I'm Ramsey of Southwest Alternate Media Project, filling in for Todd Duplantis today. And I get the joy of having as my co-host, Dr. Darin Baskin, Executive Director of HCC's Honors College. And he's going to tell everybody where to find us.
Well, hello, Randee. This is our first time being together. I'm excited about that. And I'm glad
Me too.
I'm glad you mentioned rodeo season because I'm ready. I'm ready for it. So, hey, we're live on the HCC Houston Community College District homepage. Not the homepage, but the Facebook page and on YouTube. We're also on X, LinkedIn, and on HCCTV at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
That's right. Like I always say, there's no excuse for missing us. So if you see me on the street and you're like, oh, shut up. We just know you just didn't want to do it. But today you're going to want to be with us because we have great guests today. We have Gabriel Delurand from HCC's Veterans Department. Good morning and welcome. And we will be back with you in 10 minutes, but we are going to start with our Film Friday guest, J.C. Tovar, Director of Kingman Stables, and that will be featured in the upcoming Houston Latino Film Festival. Welcome to the show, J.C.
Hello, good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Good morning. We're so excited that you're here, and I'm really looking forward to the film. And we had the guys from Houston Latino Film Festival on last week, and I'm so excited about the lineup. I'm always happy about the festival. This year, it's out of control how good it is. So when is first, let's go ahead and get the plug in right away. When is it playing?
So it is playing on Sunday, March 24th at 11 a.m. And the whole festival is taking place at the Match, and we'll specifically be in Matchbox 4. So it's Midtown. So, invite everybody to come out and watch it, and it'll be a good time. It's during the block with all the Houston filmmakers. So I'm really excited to reconnect with everybody and see everybody. Hopefully meet some new filmmakers. If people are interested in film, talk to them. And just kind of celebrate all we're doing in film in Houston.
And it should be a good hometown crowd. And it's right on the metro line, so you don't even have to worry about parking. Just park a little north and hop on the metro. It's super easy. Exactly. So I want to talk to you about your process, because as a filmmaker, that's always interesting. So talk to me about the process of writing Kingman Stables.
Perfect. Yeah. So this film was co-written and co-directed with me and one of my best friends that I met in college, Jared. And we came up with a concept initially for a 36-hour film festival that we competed in South Texas. And as you're coming up with ideas for a film race, you kind of go through your checklist of what do I have access to? And before the film race, we came up with this idea of these brothers who inherited a horse ranch, but they had no idea how to work with horses. And then we got all the elements for the film race and nothing was applicable. So we loved the idea so much that we were like, you know what, we're going to spend a few months, we're going to write it out, and we're going to see if we still like it, when the process comes together. And, he wrote a draft, I wrote a draft, he wrote a draft, I wrote a draft, and we went back about 20 times until we finally landed on a script that we really, really liked. And so we read it, we showed it to people, and we were like, it's one of those things like, okay, do we take the next step and actually make this? And
when you get to the point, you're like, well, I love the script.
Yeah.
But just because we love it doesn't mean anyone else will like it. And that's when you send it out to that small group of people whose opinions you trust, who are honest enough to say, oh, I know you think this is genius, but... And so the result was they said, yes, go ahead, right?
They punched it up a little bit for us. They, after 20 drafts, you're kind of in it and you can no longer see, you don't really understand if it's good or not, but other people tell you like, yeah, this is good. And here's what you could work on. And so we incorporated those and then we decided, hey, we're going to go for it.
Well, I'm really excited because you guys produced it yourselves, right?
Yeah, we produced it ourselves. We shot it in South Texas where we had access to horses. So there's some horse elements. There's a lot of land in it. There's a few like horse stables. And yeah, it's really about these two brothers who want to take over their father's horse stables, but have no idea No idea what they're doing around horses.
So this isn't your first time, but Kingman Stables isn't the first time you've played at the Houston Latino Film Festival, right?
No, we've been at Houston Latino in 2022. And that was actually a really special film. That was a film I made with my wife, and it was called El Primer Beso, which is the first kiss in Spanish. And it's based off of her favorite song called El Último Beso, which was made a long time ago in Spanish and then remade by Pearl Jam, which is The Last Kiss.
Oh, I saw the film, but I guess I didn't realize Pearl Jam, because that's not your first thought was like, yeah, Pearl Jam.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a windy road, but yeah.
It doesn't matter how windy, as long as the end result is good. The destination was very good.
Yeah, it's how I express, myself. I don't write too much. I can't cook at all. So film is kind of how I communicate.
Well, we can talk about the cooking another time, but
Yeah.
I wanted, because, the Houston Media Conference is happening again this year, and I'm always asking for advice for my students and for young local filmmakers, and we hope we'll see you at the media conference this year. But what advice do you have for, those just starting out?
Just get to a set. Whether you're holding a light, holding a boom pole, if you're behind the scenes with the technical director, just get out there and get some experience. The Houston Film Committee community is so welcoming. Yesterday, it was the first Thursday of the month. And so the Houston Film Commission puts on first Thursdays at Brazil. So go out there. It's kind of like a monthly reunion where you can watch films and talk to people, meet people. So you go to that, come to the Houston Latino Film Festival, go to the Houston Cinema Arts Society's events, check out the Houston Film Commission for events that are going on, and just go out there, watch some cool films and meet some cool people. And
yeah, because there's no better trainer for this than actually doing it.
Just get out there and just do it. Yeah.
Yeah, there are things that no matter how much time you sit in a theory classroom until you actually do it, you're like, oh, like, wow, we're in the middle of the best actor's take, and that horse just pooped a ton right behind him. And you're like, well, let's go again. I mean,
it's like, yeah, let's do it. And you do it until you get it. And then if you don't get it, well, then you just roll with the best option. So
that's right. I think that's great advice. That's what I'm always on to my students, but sometimes I like them to hear it from other people because they think I'm just being annoying. Hey, I want to ask you, because it's hard to ignore, but Oscars are on Sunday. So what's your favorite movie this year?
I don't know. I'm not like, well, my favorite movie of the year last year, I don't know. I kind of I'm not too sure. I don't even want to go in and then like say something wrong.
Well, there's nothing wrong. It's, what do you like? I mean, I think it's interesting because the Oscars prompt us all to talk about films a lot. And sometimes it's not anything that's nominated that you just fall in love with. There were so many great films coming off the independent film circuit this year that played at festivals and were terrific. But I was just wondering if you saw anything that caught your eye and you thought, oh yeah, I really love that. Because every once in a while something hits you.
Yeah, no, I am frozen right now. I could like look around and like just hope to pull the best movie that I saw, but like yeah, no.
Well, let me ask you a question, though. What else is coming up in the Houston film community that you know about that you're excited about?
The Houston Latino Film Festival is coming up at the end of the month. And then also the Houston, and I'm going to Google it really quick because I think it's the Houston Jewish Film Festival.
Yes, at MFAH?
Yes.
Yeah, the Museum of Fine Arts Houston. Is that coming up soon? I've lost track of my dates.
Yeah, I believe that's coming up also at the end of the month. Yeah.
Well, and also Museum of Fine Arts Houston has been featuring those films that Houstonians love. And I know in January they did Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, which is one of my favorite films of all time. I just love it so much. So I guess people should check that out as well.
Yeah, I love Oh Brother, Where Art Thou. And then if we're talking about other film events, one of my favorite film festivals in Houston is the Real Abilities Film Festival that focus on stories of they focus on a wide range of stories. And so if anybody's interested, check out the Real Abilities Film Festival.
Oh, and they're high quality films. So Real Ability should be happening at the end of the month as well. I think closing in toward March. Thank you so much, JC. I'm so looking forward to talking to you again. And it's been just a pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, it's awesome. It's been great. Thank you.
Thanks so much, JC. And now, Darin, moving on to our next guest. You're up.
Hey, I appreciate that, Randee. Hey, great conversation with JC. And I'll just throw this out there. My movie is The Holdovers. I really enjoyed The Holdovers. So
that was such a good film. I'm rooting for them too. Yeah. I'm with you.
Let's bring in Gabriel into this conversation. Gabriel, before we even get started on talking about the Veterans Department at HCC, what was your favorite movie of the year?
I watch a lot of movies, so I really can't say which one was my favorite. They were all good in their own way. Of course, some of them were pretty bad, but for the most part, there were some that were pretty good.
Oh, yeah. I feel the same way. Like, I love the movies. I love watching them. I love being a critique of them. So I appreciate that. So, hey, we are going to go ahead and welcome our next guest. Joining us right now is Gabriel Delurand, who is our school certifying official with HCC Veterans Affairs Department. And he is also the advisor for the Student Veterans of America here at HCC. And he is housed at the Northwest College. Hey, Gabriel, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Hey, yes, great. So before I even get started on these questions I have, let me ask you one simple question. Are you a veteran?
Yes, I am.
And so I want to say to you, thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thank you. I served in the Marine Corps 2008 to 2012.
That is amazing. I also served for 10 years. I'm not going to give you the years, but just know it was 10 of them. And so thank you for your service. We really appreciate you. And we can't thank you enough.
Thank you as well. You paved the way for me.
Yes, you don't know that, Gabriel. Stop it. So tell me about the SVA and the upcoming transfer fair that we're having.
Well, just to let you know, the Student Veterans of America is an organization that elevates the academic, professional, and personal development of veterans in higher education. This is a national organization with over 1,600 campuses in the USA and in 3 countries overseas. As a chapter advisor, I work to provide the necessary resources, network support, and advocacy to ensure student veterans can effectively connect, expand their skills, and ultimately achieve their greatest potential.
Yeah.
So also for this transfer resource fair, it's going on March 26th at 10 a.m. in the Central Campus Learning Hub. It's a great way to get answers to what you're looking for. The SVA chapter has invited many schools and other organizations to come out and share what they have to offer for the vets.
Yeah, and you know what, Gabriel, I'm so happy to hear that this is an organization that is nationwide. So you have so many tentacles that you can reach out to different areas to be able to help our veteran students. And that simply by itself is amazing. So thank you for that. And, you know, being an advisor for any organization, it gives you such a great insight into who our students are, who our veteran students are, and how we're able to better help them as they try to transition out of the military or out of military service into civilian life. And so the work that you do is nothing more than amazing for our veteran students. So thank you. And so with this transfer fair, who will be participating? I heard you mention that you've invited a few people. Who can we expect?
Definitely some of the local colleges that are participating will be U of H, Texas A&M, Houston Christian University, and then I also have Grand Canyon University and a few others as well. We also have resources like the Veterans Affair, the Salvation Army, and Combined Arms. They're going to be there as well to give out information or help with anything they can that'll help the student veterans' independence here.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think having all of the resources available in one place is very helpful for someone who served in the military, because that's exactly how the military trains us to be able to be as efficient as we can. And if you put everything right in front of them, they can get their task done, which most most soldiers that become civilians are very task oriented. So doing a workshop, a transfer fair like you're doing is exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were trying to do for our department. We wanted to make sure everything was there right before our vets and dependents so that if they have any questions or anything that they always wondered, they can get it answered right there.
Yeah, that's amazing. Love that. And so what are your hopes? What do you hope that me as a veteran walking into this transfer fair, what do you want me to get out of that?
Well, I want the students and vets to get answers and questions that they always wondered answered from the different groups that we have coming in. Right now, it's the time where you're looking to maybe transfer to another school, and it's a hard decision. So if you have it all there, you can always just ask them what questions and what the school is like, and that'll help the vets, the dependents, come up with a way to figure out which school is better for them to attend after HCC.
Yeah, I think you've just made an amazing point to give them the resources that they need to make the decision. Because a lot of schools out there say we are veteran friendly, we want veterans here, but they don't have the support that the veterans need once they get them there. And so some of the schools that I heard you name, I know have that veteran support built into their programming at those institutions, so that if a veteran student comes there, they'll be able to get all the services that they need. So I applaud you again for that. Let me ask you this: as an advisor, I know you do lots of events with your chapter, with your organization. What kind of events do you have planned for the spring semester?
So right now, the only event that we have planned is a Galveston beach cleanup. That's going to be going on March 30th. I already spoke with Texas Adopt a Beach, so they know that we're coming down there to clean a little section of Galveston and also have a barbecue with the SVA members. We believe trying to get them to come together with like-minded veterans who might have answers that they didn't get from the VA or even in the military that you will only get from veterans when you're outside. So definitely with this, and we also want to show face around the community, so that we know when as veterans, Dr. Darin, that we are always there to help. So we want to make sure that we're not just here to go to school, but to show the community that we're here for them as well.
Right. Again, veterans helping veterans is how veterans survive. Someone coming out of the military, one of the first things that they fall short of, but that they realize, is that they don't have that support, that family unit like you have in the military. Like when you're in the military, you have your brother's back, your brother in arms, you have their back, and you have that support. So you providing that support once they get out into the civilian life is very much integral in their reintegration back into civilian life. So that's amazing. And who doesn't love a barbecue on a beach? You better stop it, Gabriel. So
another thing with our organization, we also want to do there's community events. I want to push with SVA. There's actually a Houston military ball. It's in May, so I'm gonna push with the SVA. I'm gonna attend myself because I thought that was pretty cool that they have that ball, and I haven't been to one since the Marine Corps. So I'm gonna try and push with my SVA members to try and show up as well. But hopefully it can be a annual thing that we go to.
Oh, that's amazing. And also remember, here at the college, I'll mention this for you also, we have the Dress for Success program. So if you do have a veteran that wants to go and they don't have a suit, we have that Dress for Success program that can possibly help them out with that. So very good. And so let me ask you this as our last question. What's your vision for the future of your SVA chapter?
Well, basically my vision is to have many veterans and dependent students join our chapter, just for us to help them to lead and live their best lives.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's amazing. I think the strength that you bring as an advisor is part of the reason why I can see the chapter being successful.
I appreciate that, Dr. Darin.
For sure. When you get down to it and you really start to understand how veteran students think and how they process information, then you're able to help them to successfully navigate this world, this environment that they're coming back into. And so having chapters, SVA chapters and organizations, especially with outreach into the national society is amazing. So thank you again. So tell us,
No problem.
Gabriel, it has been a pleasure talking to you. It's been great meeting you. I look forward to doing some work with you in your chapter. And so again, thank you for your service and thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you, Darin. Thank you for your service as well. Hopefully, yeah, we can link up and do something with the chapter together. I appreciate you guys for the opportunity to come on the show.
Oh yeah, anytime. So we want to say thank you to Gabriel. He is our school certifying official with HCC Veteran Department and the advisor for the Student Veterans of America here at the Northwest College. We'll have his info posted at the end of the show.
Thank
Randee.
you so much, Gabriel. And you know what? I will tell you, I have been to several Marine balls and I missed them. So I had no idea there was a military ball in town. I'll have to find a way to get myself invited to that because I have a lot of fond Marine ball memories.
Exactly. You know what I'm talking about.
I do. Hey, I lived in Kuwait and the Marine ball at the U.S. Embassy was one of my favorite nights of the whole year. So we also, used to serve 500 military fellows home-cooked Thanksgiving dinner once a year. So that was nice. Thank you so much. And thanks for all you're doing. And thanks for your service. And I'm so excited that, that we had you on. Okay, Dr. Darin, we have some announcements to make, but I do have to tell you that since you're a movie buff, there's a film that was very underrated this year called You Hurt My Feelings, and it's worth the watch.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you. I'm going to catch that one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We didn't ask you, Gabriel. We did at the top. What's your favorite movie? And you said they were all good.
Yeah.
With a few bad ones.
Yeah, you had one you liked more than the rest, but that's okay. I'll let you off the hook this time. But next time, homework, come prepared.
I'll have one for you.
Okay, but watch You Hurt My Feelings because it's a fun, and it did great at Sundance, and it just got swept under the rug and nobody loved it. But this was the year of Barbenheimer, so that's sort of what.
Yes, it was.
Took us all over. But you know what? I'm not mad because if we're going to have a year that's all about like overhyped movies, at least these two were good. And neither of them was a Marvel movie. So I was super excited about that. No disrespect to the Marvel films because they are great. But there's a certain point where I was like, do we get to have something else?
I felt the disrespect. So I'm going to move us on into these announcements there.
Oh, Dr. Darin, I have lots of respect for action films, you stinker. I'm just saying, at a certain point, a steak is great, but you don't want to eat it every day.
I understand that. I do.
Okay. Well, now you're going to make us talk business?
Yeah,
that's fine. You go first.
Let's get this out of the way. So our Campus Beats lecture series, which will be at HCC Music Business and the MESA presents Campus Beats 6. It is a question and answer lecture series, which will be held on March 19th, starting at noon in the PAC building, which is at the screening theater at the Spring Branch campus. Entrepreneur and marketing and music professional Tracy DeJarnette will be featured at the event.
And Women's History Month poetry presentation is coming up. HCC presents Dennis Decolonized Lopez, taking us on a journey through her life. I should say Denise. I'm sorry. Again, murderer of all names. Denise Decolonized Lopez, taking us on a journey through her life, experience as a Chicana and Tejana, Tuesday, March 19th, 11 to 1 at HCC's East Side Campus Workforce Building, room 316. That's right, people. Let's make the whitest woman in America say all the things that need an accent. Okay, but you know what? She's a very good poet and her work is excellent and you should go. And I intend to be there.
Hey. And as we mentioned earlier, the HCC Student Veterans of America Club will be holding a transfer and resource fair on Tuesday, March 26th, starting at 10 a.m. And it's going to be at the Central Campus inside of the Learning Hub. If you're a veteran or a dependent of a veteran, come see how SVA can support you in the next steps of your life.
And summer registration is begun. It's hard to believe, friend, that we are already here. But as always, HCC is here all summer, still with 5 ways to learn. Online anytime, online on a schedule, our hybrid classes in person, and our hybrid lab. And these summer classes are just great. We offer the same selection, and it's in person, it's online. And the nice thing is you can get it done like that.
Just like
So,
that. You
just
know,
like that.
It brings me to what we were just mentioning earlier about the movies. Like you mentioned Barbenheimer. When I went to see Barbie, I was like, I want this movie to be over like that. Because
Sacrilege. I loved it so much. I'm going to take you out back, Dr. Darin. Now, I do need to remind folks that when we're not on next week, it's not because I beat Dr. Darin up in the parking lot. It is because it is spring break, folks. That's right. Halfway mark. We are halfway done with the semester, halfway to summer, and we will not be back until Monday, March 18th. Now, I know I've got spring break plans, but you tell me, Dr. Darin, you've got plans, don't you?
I do. So every year during spring break, the Honors College takes a study abroad trip. So I will be in Montreal, Canada during spring break. So excited about that, but less excited that I'm missing the rodeo. So,
oh, well, you know, rodeo season is eternal, and you can probably go tonight before you leave. But I will say we got to wrap it up because I'm getting the notes. I'm getting them 30 seconds. So you have fun in Montreal. I'm jealous. Love Montreal. It's one of my favorite cities. And I can't wait to hear all about it when you get back. And that's it for us this Friday. Thanks for being with us. And we'll be back Monday, March 18th. Until then, have a great week. Have a great spring break. See you then.